How's it going? Yeah, chat. GLGizmo just dropped a new video. But I literally just told him. Basically, this guy, he went and made a video, and this time he's gone way too far, guys. So we gotta go give him some hate. Everyone, right now, go to his video. Spam dislike, chat. Ew, what the fuck is that? XQC? How'd you get in here? Get the fuck out of my house, you filthy toenail eater. Sorry about that, guys. I really gotta start locking my back door. You never know what kind of fungus feasters might sneak in. Now that degenerate's gone. Welcome back to a series so sloppy, even my old lunch lady subscribed. In this episode, Sneako discussed on his stream the similarities among himself, Nick Fuentes, and Hasan Piker. The continued downward freefall of one of YouTube's classic creators, iDubbbz, and the roast that followed. Joe Rogan begins to backpedal after receiving backlash from his fan base for selling out to the US government and the Trump administration, and a boatload more. So let's just get right into it. Starting with Sneako firing all 3 of his brain cells at maximum capacity to attempt to read and explain to his audience what horseshoe theory is from a Wikipedia page.
To bring this kind of full circle to what I wanted to talk about is, if you look at Hasanabi's Twitter, for example. Look at Hasanabi's Twitter. Speaker of the House announces Trump was an FBI informant tasked to take down Epstein. Hasanabi responds, they're claiming he's a white hat pedophile. He's attacking Trump. And look at the next one. ICE raid, Epstein files. Shitting on Trump. And shitting on him for Trump's pump and dumps. 700 days of unlimited genocide since October 7th, and Israel is still refusing to scale it back. The Western world has taken more action against their citizens, calling our allegiance out with this criminal entity, eroding the belief people had in liberal international order and democracy. Who does this kind of sound like? Who does this tweet sound like? Every bomb he drops on Israel is one against Miriam Adelson as well. Who does this sound like? Gas chambers, Israel still genociding children, almost every tweet. Finally, a pro-Israel voice in mainstream media. Something I would tweet. You know who this sounds like? It sounds like Nick Fuentes, bro. Their tweets, like, if you could do one of those games where you read their tweets back and forth, and a lot of Nick and it sounds like me. Look at this. If Hasanabi tweeted this, well, almost. If Hasanabi tweeted this, like, you wouldn't blink an eye. MAGA influencers got busted for shilling for India today after months of defending the Epstein cover-up. What happened to this movement? If Joe Biden disappeared for an entire week like this, you know that every Trump supporter will be crashing out about it. Where is the consistency? Trump 2.0 has been a disappointment in literally every way, but nobody wants to admit it. This is a Hasanabi tweet. It's weird how the far right and the far left are starting to have more in common than people than centrists or than like people on the right and the far right.
Hear that one, Hasan? Sneako thinks he has more in common with you than with Republicans. How's that make you feel, buddy? As everyone knows, it's a real good thing when you have a bunch in common with Sneako.
So there's this theory called the horseshoe theory. And I was talking about this with Nick. He brought this up earlier today. He said, in popular discourse, the horseshoe theory asserts that advocates of the far left and far right, rather than being at opposite and opposing ends of a linear continuum of the political spectrum, closely resemble each other.
Yeah, this isn't really that mind-blowing. It's just called being an extremist. Whether you're an extremist on the left or an extremist on the right, it's a bad thing and you shouldn't be a political extremist. Their ideals are gonna resemble each other because they both believe in taking things way too far in the name of their political beliefs, which is a bad thing. And then like an hour and a half into his stream, somebody donates $1 and triggers TTS, which Sneako didn't know was on before, and it like interrupts him when he thinks he's cooking, and he gets kind of mad, which I think it's kind of funny.
On the wall, I've been talking about this for several years, but now you're really seeing it.
Sneako, how did you film your Sneako documentary intro?
CZ filmed that. I'm gonna turn off TTS. CZ filmed that intro.
But yeah, Sneako's a complete joke and a scourge on society. The fact that he thinks he's some sort of like genius political commentator is really just a complete embarrassment and overall a statement on where US politics are today. Moving on to our good old buddy iDubbbz, who has unfortunately been demoted. Despite Twitch's best efforts to push his stream, he has gone from the triple digits to the double digits in viewership numbers. This motherfucker cannot stop failing. I think me and iDubbbz are about to meet in the middle here pretty pretty soon, guys. I mean, I'm getting like 5 to 10 viewers on average for my gaming streams. If he keeps going on this trajectory, it's gonna be like another week or two till we're at the same viewership. Ethan Klein had this to say on his latest podcast episode.
Every day, Ian, iDubbbz starts he just looks at his shoes everywhere he goes.
No.
Ian, Anisa doesn't let him look in her eyes anymore, even. He gets scolded if he looks her in the eyes.
Dope.
It's bad. It's really bad. Honestly, I feel bad for the guy. I really do. And now he's streaming to 100 people. 100.
I know.
And he's being promoted.
109.
I don't even think it's worth the embarrassment of having fallen. I don't know if I don't think I could do that. If I ever fell off that hard to where I was streaming to 100 people.
Yeah, I think you would hope you have someone in your life
It's
to
something
tell you.
else. Do something else.
You know what? It's time to close shop.
Or the streaming thing is not working. You're not good at it. People don't like it. Maybe people will still watch his videos. I don't know.
Maybe he's going for Rising Star this year.
Well, I don't know. I heard Rogan is in the lead.
Oh my God.
She's still rising. It's a battle. It's like Rainbow Road, 2 battling stars racing.
Bro, you gotta be kidding me. Even Ethan's crew is dunking on iDubbbz. At a certain point, he's just gonna have to go and like get a job somewhere because, oh shit, did I just say the J word? Oh no, I'm sorry guys, here he comes. God damn it. Alright, my bad. I think he's gone. What was I saying? Oh yeah, he's gonna have to get one because 100 viewers on Twitch, and it also says right there, he's got 287 out of 350 subscribers. Doing just some quick math, I get $2.25 per Prime sub and $2.88 per paid sub. So let's just take that $2.88 being generous, assuming he has all paid subs, and then multiply that by the amount of subscribers that he currently has, comes out to a whopping $826.56 per month. Being that he is a Twitch partner, he does have potential to be making 70% of every $6 sub. So if we do that math, he could be making as much as $1,205.40 per month, which won't cover rent in most places. So it's good to know things are going great for iDubbbz. Moving on to Joe Rogan, who might have finally realized that the government and the Trump administration are using him and his podcast to spread propaganda and bury the Epstein files. He's been called out in a recent video by Elephant Graveyard that has accumulated 2 million views in the past 2 weeks, after 2 guests from the Trump administration allegedly came on the podcast to bury the Epstein files. Kash Patel, and more recently, Anna Paulina Luna. Tim Dillon was just on Joe Rogan's podcast when they discussed Palantir, which is a controversial government surveillance software company, and the company's CEO, Peter Thiel, who's been on the Joe Rogan podcast multiple times. You can definitely tell that Tim is kind of walking on eggshells here because he knows that Joe and Peter Thiel are friendly, and Joe dropped some hints in his response to Tim, implying that he knows he's been a useful idiot.
I don't think Peter Thiel eats food like a person. I think it's like he has some type of,
What?
you know.
What do you think?
I think a lot of these tech people, like, they don't like food. They're not food people, a lot of these tech people. I went to a few of these tech things in Austin. It's not, the food's never the thing. They're not like food people. They're not like, ooh, let me eat food. Like wasps are not either. Like real old school, like waspy.
Didn't you get invited to have lunch or something, or dinner with Peter?
Yes, I said no.
Did you?
I said no. I'm a little wary of that circle of people. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying there's anything inherently evil about them because obviously there's people in there. I don't know that I want to go to a dinner with someone who's going to talk endlessly about the Antichrist.
But yet you'll go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, of course.
And perform.
Of course.
I've been to Peter's house twice.
I'm sure he's a very nice guy. Like Peter Thiel. People
He's a
that
nice
know
guy.
him
I've
go,
had
he's
him
a
on the
nice guy.
podcast.
He's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I get invited to a lot of dinners and a lot of things. And what I try to do is I try to say to myself, I need to be able to criticize people and make fun of them.
Right.
So, it felt like really weird to go to this guy's house and then shit on him the next day.
Do you think that's part of the strategy of inviting you to go to places?
Yes.
Yeah.
Most likely. But it doesn't work.
Yeah, I found this part kind of interesting because it seems like Joe just kind of slipped in there that he's aware that these billionaires invite comedians to dinners and try to get close with them in order to control the narrative and gain access to their platforms. So it begs the question, why is he giving them exactly what they want?
A lot of people out there in the world are under the impression that everyone has an agenda, and that's completely understandable. And I think what they try to do is sometimes launder that agenda through some cultural space, however they want to do it.
You know, like such as the Joe Rogan podcast.
You know?
Yeah.
And that's happened forever. It's not new. It's not unique because there's an internet. 1,000%. There's people that want the world to look a certain way, but they don't come out and tell you exactly how they want it to look.
Right.
They figure out a way to kind of like, let's filter this. So I'm trying to, when I look at that and I go, because I think it was a very nice dinner, and I think what he wants, like, I'm sure it was like a lovely, like he goes, I want to talk about the media. And you're like a comedian, but you're in the media, and like, you know, he has a bunch of people to his house. There's probably smart people that go.
Yeah, he likes to have
and they
these
talk about the media.
big thought, like
Right.
think tank conversations.
Yeah, and I just felt like that didn't appeal to me.
So yeah, Tim is pretty much just laying it all out in the open here, passively calling out Joe, and Joe's just like, oh yeah, like I totally agree. So yeah, I don't know, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what happens with Joe, if they're gonna keep using him like a little sock puppet, or if he actually is gonna, you know, turn on his billionaire friends and call them out and give them some adequate pushback on his podcast. On that note, don't forget to hit the like button, that subscribe button as well. Swing on by the stream, twitch.tv/GLGizmo, and we'll see you next time. Peace.